guys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder with another Pokemon video, and today we're going to be talking about vendors and local card shops and card shows. So I've been to many card shows myself, and I'm sure you've heard of card shows. Card shows are where people can go and sell Pokemon cards and go walk around and explore and see things, and obviously it's nice being able to do that in person. But I think there is a rising problem though, and I think this post kind of captures it. So I saw this post today on Pokemon TCG by Frosty Thu. Frosty Thu says that card shows and local card shops are infested. The experience at card shops and recently at my local card stores, plural, have taken a drastic turn as the hobby is now infested with people obsessed with milking every dollar out of a sale. It goes both ways. Buyers and sellers both trying to game the other out of a few dollars. Moreover, when sellers are blatantly scamming kids or taking advantage of new people in the hobby, I get sick to my stomach. It is a complete turnoff me from wanting to go to card shows and visit my local card shop as frequently as I used to, as it feels like a battle rather than a celebration for a shared interest. There are still a few bright spots out there and some good vendors and people who are trying to keep things fair and fun for everyone, but I fear the group is shrinking as more people fall to the greed. And I absolutely 100% agree with this post. I think that the money and the greed in Pokemon cards right now is an all-time high. And what that means is you have a lot of people who want to make money. They just want to make profit. And they want to basically rip off customers. And again, I've covered this many times before, but you'll have vendors literally go into retail stores, buy out all the Pokemon cards at like Walmart, Target, and then go to card stores and then selling the same stuff. And there's going to be examples of this with like Costco Pokemon cards. The Costco membership bundles, they're cool, they're cheap, you got a lot of bang for your buck. I've seen so many of these Costco bundles at card shows. Literally not even a day after they were released. And so the amount of card shows that are being infested, so to speak, is actually real. And I think the problem, though, is that everyone wants to be a vendor. Scalpers want to be vendors. Scalpers, resellers want to be vendors. Everyone wants to open a card shop now because people know this is easy money. And again, it's just like this weird situation we're falling into where people are just basically getting scammed and screwed over by price gouging, which means they go in, they buy stuff for $45, $55 at retail. They go to the stores, they go to card shows and local card shops, and now they flip it and resell it at a higher price, which is by definition scalping. So that's my hot take right there, which is not a hot take. Comments: scamming kids is gross. Taking advantage of new fans is gross, but some amount of people haggling is part of the hobby. It's part of the commerce in the wild world, but it is not common in the United States. I'm assuming you're American from the post. I'm an American as well, and I go to card shows a lot. If a seller prices a card, I can get $9 for $10. Well, you can see it in front of you and don't have to pay tax for it. If you want to buy it for the $10 the seller's asking for, that's great. Everyone leaves happy. But instead, I'm probably going to start offering $8 or offering to buy it from another card at a good deal. If I find more expensive cards and offer $20 for both, they might take it. Or I'll say I'll pay $10 if they throw in this card for free, and I pick a card I like, and I know they will have a trouble selling. Maybe it's a hollow energy that's technically worth $4, but no one's going to give them that. Or some random full art mill trainer. If they're stubborn, I'll bring a listing, ask them to match it to 9. If they don't, I'll probably just walk away. I mean, that is true. This comment is absolutely true, that card shows have a lot of haggling. And I think that I've seen a lot of card vendors haggle. They're going to always haggle. Hey, I see this dent on here. Can you give me a $5 discount on this box? Or, hey, I don't think this is a PSA 10. I'm not going to give you a PSA 10 price. You're going to have to go down. And so I think haggling is part of the hobby, but this is not the issue, though. The issue is that scalpers, resellers, greedy people are jumping into the hobby. And they just take great pride of reselling cards that you normally would have gotten for, a more affordable price. And that's the problem, is that, again, I think we can all agree that scamming kids is gross. Next one right here. As a vendor myself, it was frustrating at the last card show with people coming to my booth asking for 100% market or more, and even asking to sell me a raw or selling me a raw card for a PSA 10 price. Exactly, this is the problem. I am very flexible with pricing and offers, and even offer discounts if people rip sealed at my table. But if you're coming to a vendor's table looking for more than market or on a raw or low grade card, you're crazy. It's crazy what people are trying to pull now. And how many coin flipped broccoli haircut guys do you have? And of course they respond to many. Most other vendors didn't even show prices. They looked it up at the spot and matched the highest listing or last sold versus market. For example, one of the vendors near me was wearing gold chains, labubus, and was unironically talking about NFTs. I've had at least 2 broccoli cut guys come to me asking me to sell something above market because it only goes up. And this is the problem. Even sellers, okay? So cards, like, when I say sellers, I mean customers. I mean people who go to card shops. They're going to bring stuff that they found and they think they can flip as well. And obviously, what other way to do this is going to a card shop and then, or a card vendor, and saying, hey, I have this ETB that came out the other week. I want to sell it to you so you can flip it yourself. And I think this is the reality, is that scalpers are buying from other scalpers. That's just constantly like the current struggle right now, is because the market is dumb. And what that means, y'all, is that Pokemon card prices have just gone out of the wazoo. And clearly there's a problem where people who are just scalpers are buying from other scalpers. And it basically is just like a recycle of scalpers, you know? And the people that get screwed over the most, of course, is going to be the consumer. People who want to buy stuff for retail. Because you have people going in saying, hey, I'm going to sell this ETB for $90. And then that same vendor is going to sell it for $120. It just keeps going and going and going. And again, we're talking about profit margins, which is stupid. Because Pokemon cards should not be about profit margins. It should not be a return on investment, ROI. And I know these terms. I am not financially literate. I am not a financial advisor. I don't even have any degree or understanding of how economics work. But the current market right now for Pokemon cards is that scalpers are buying from each other. And so, one more comment. One thing I will say is I think vendors are paying better than they ever have. I get people being mad about 80%, but prior to this boom, they were paying 60 to 70%. LOL. So it's nice, it's kind of nice when someone can cash you out of thousands at 80 because they're competing for inventory amongst other vendors too. And I don't really understand this pricing of 80%, 90%, whatever, $50, $60 value cards. But I feel like this kind of just gives you an idea that, again, the scalpers, the resellers, it is a buyer's market. Oh, sorry, it's a seller's market. Other way around. It's a seller's market. Because there's more buyers than there are sellers. Inventory is limited. There is scarcity with Pokemon cards right now. And so therefore, everyone's going goo goo gaga and trying to buy as much as they can. Because they know it will sell. This stuff will not stay on the shelves. This stuff will be sold eventually. And so I have a video here. This is from Trainer Mura. Trainer Mura is at a card show. And this is the situation. This is the reality for Pokemon cards right now.
That's literally the MJ Holdings box that he's holding. That's so funny.
Look at that. Look at that. This person's walking around. And I already covered this story before, but I just want to use this video again because it captures how insane card shows are right now. This guy's walking around with a box of MJ Holdings with a full of Pokemon cards. And he literally has a backpack with an open glass case. And it says, for sale. So literally this guy's walking around a card show trying to sell and resell Pokemon cards for probably scalper prices. So.
Hey man.
Why doesn't he get a table?
I don't know.
Is that even allowed? I wonder.
Yeah, it's allowed.
I don't think it's allowed. You actually need a table usually to sell cards. But obviously they're going to try to go to every single vendor. And I think what's going to happen here is, again, they're going to get kicked out because they can't go around with a bunch of product unless they have a table, because you have to pay for a table usually. And some folks will bring in some Pokemon cards and they'll try to sell it to the vendors and the tables themselves, but you need to have a table. So
It's just
Shameless.
odd. Shameless, yeah. It's a good word for it. Yeah, people are trying to offload sealed because they're scared that they're not going to make their money back.
So it's for them.
So look at that. That whole cart full of Pokemon cards. Again, same story. Maybe this person bought it from this area, or they're going around each vendor saying, hey, I have all those Pokemon cards. Can I offload it to you? So
They're like all dumping their inventories.
Everything's plummeting.
Yeah, that's why they're selling it all. That guy with the backpack and all the sealed stuff in the MJ Holdings box is sitting in the corner over there.
yeah, he's in the corner. He's in the corner.
He's like setting up a mini booth.
A few moments later.
Oh, they're kicking them out.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't pay for a table.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, again, everyone wants to be a vendor. You know, this is the title of the video, is that everyone wants to resell and become a vendor, essentially. And that's going to take time, money, and a lot of inventory. And the problem right now is that there is not that much inventory. The only people that are really benefiting from this market are people with inventory. And right now, we're seeing this huge surge of hot demand. Cards are literally still being bought within 24 hours. Pokemon Center cards are only up for about an hour max, you know? Like, people are buying this like hotcakes. And I think we are in a Pokemon card bubble. The market is in a bubble where a select few is buying everything. And a vast majority of people will eventually either A, lose interest, or B, just say, hey, you know what? I am not going to enter the market until I can find stuff, and I will wait and they'll be patient. Like me. For example, I usually used to go to a lot of card shows and a lot of restocks. I don't anymore. Because one, I don't have time for that. Because folks are waiting 2 to 4 days early to get in to buy stuff. And two, honestly, it's just a lot of work. And you'll see the same kind of crowd with just resellers, scalpers, and people who are just going to try to buy everything. And I'm yes, there's going to be a lot of good collectors out there as well. But the problem, though, is that most of these collectors are working. Because many people are going to be working from 9 to 5. And it's impossible to get a store 5-6 hours in advance on a Friday at 4 in the morning to wait in line for the store opens at 10. So this is the situation. And of course, to conclude the story, you can go on eBay, or not eBay, on YouTube. You can go on YouTube, Pokemon card vendor, and you're gonna see hundreds of videos of just card vendors. You're gonna see all these videos. We're so back, Card Party Westy, Pokemon POV, shady Pokemon vendors. So you want to be a Pokemon card vendor? Start here. Pokemon Card Thieves Exposed. I found collection worth $1 million. Vendor POV. And I've seen this rise of Pokemon card vendor POVs. And I didn't know this was a thing. I really didn't. I think it kind of just shows you that there is serious money. And a lot of people want to become Pokemon tubers or influencers. And they're making lots of videos about this. And there's going to be hundreds of videos. Again, hundreds of videos of Pokemon vendor videos here. And a lot of this, again, is going to just give you an idea that everyone wants to be a vendor. Everyone wants to sell and make money right now with Pokemon cards. And that, in my opinion, is scary and not in the spirit of Pokemon card collecting. And I get it. It is easy money. It is so much easy fucking money. And I feel like people don't understand that this takes a lot of time, of energy, of blood and sweat to open a shop and sell stuff. And I want to emphasize this again. Becoming a Pokemon vendor is not a long-term sustainable job. And I feel like I have to emphasize this because I get it. If you are unemployed, if you're desperate for cash, this is easy money. And I can recognize that a lot of folks are going to become vendors because maybe they're unemployed. Or maybe they don't make enough money to bring bread on the table, so to speak. But my problem, again, this all stems to this one thesis, this one idea, which is it's not okay to resell Pokemon cards and scalp and make money off of Pokemon cards. That is my moral Puritan Pokemon card lecture for everyone. If you've been watching my video for years, I have beef with Pokemon investors, scalpers, resellers, rip and shippers, and I'm not saying I have beef with vendors, but I've seen a lot of vendors literally go to retail stores and buy out all the Pokemon cards there to then go sell at their shops or at their store, or suddenly showing up and being resold sealed product at a card show. That is my beef. So I think that yes, some people will have access to distributors. Cool, awesome, no judgment. But there are vendors and there are people who literally will go to stores at Target, Walmart, GameStop, Costco, Sam's Clubs, and they'll clear out the shelves, and then they'll go back to the card show and pretend nothing has happened and be like, hey, I'm selling Pokemon cards, go buy my stuff. And so that is where my beef lies upon. And I have no beef with people selling singles, slabs, no beef with that, no issue. I want to be crystal clear. If you're a vendor who sells like singles and like open Pokemon cards in your collection, that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Again, my issue is that I see people who literally go to stores, buy fucking everything out, and then show up at card shows and then pretend everything's all dandy. And again, there's also sellers out there, aka customers, who go to card shows to then offload scalp Pokemon cards because they know they can make money off of vendors as well. And I think that's also an issue as well. Because right now, it's easy money on everyone. It's so easy to sell sealed product right now. And also, I want to emphasize this a lot. I personally have no qualms with people with having a business with Pokemon cards. I think a lot of people have been calling me out saying, Kenny Boulder, you're calling everyone a scalper now. Well, the truth to be told is that there's so many more scalpers, and these stories are more prevalent than ever today. And I have no beef if you are a small mom and pop shop who has access to distributors. I have beef with you, again, if you try to break the rules and become a bully. If you claim you're for the community, you're here to support kids, and then you go to a Walmart restock and you buy everything out, that is not community engagement. That is scalping. You're buying stuff for retail, and now you're flipping it and trying making money off of those Pokemon cards that you bought for MSRP, that you bought for retail, and now you're trying to get market prices for those Pokemon cards. That's my beef. That's my issue. So I'm putting it out there because people have been lately calling me out and saying, Kenny Boulder, you're just accusing everyone of being a scalper. I'm not. My parameters of scalpers has always been the same thing. It's just you and I have different opinions, and obviously most folks don't have my opinion. And that's why I'm explaining my opinion right now to you. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video about how everyone wants to be a vendor, everyone wants to be a seller. And of course, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. So we're almost at 8,500 subscribers. We're going to try to hit that by the end of the month. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to my channel because, again, this is a hobby for me. I don't have a market. I don't have a shop. I don't have sponsors. I make these Pokemon card videos because it is a hobby. It is something I care about. And, of course, I just love talking. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there. Don't get scammed. Don't pay above retail. Don't pay above MSRP. And be careful where you spend your dollars right now. Because I'm telling you right now, it is a bad market for being a buyer, being a consumer. And the market's cooked. And let's see where things go in the next 6 months. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Take care.